You are now tuned to BS3 Network. BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
It's Queen3 King. It's Queen3 and King. It's Queen3 and King. Queen3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down. Queen3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down. It's Queen3 and King on BS3 Network. Queen3 and King.
Welcome to another episode of Queen3 and King. I am your host, King Dawk, in the building. Let me do some rearranging in the building here. As you can see, we got some special guest with us today, or a special guest with us today. Today's topic is once mine, always mine. Once mine, always mine. So we're finna find out how true that is. And we're gonna get the season queen an opportunity to get going for you. We're gonna do introductions backwards today. So we're gonna start with the baby queen, formerly known as Blake's mama, now firmly entrenched in the corner of Bronxy, Forney Red, Mama Lee. Talk to the people, queen.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
All right, I don't know. I guess I'm just the only one can't hear. All right. And next, we got the educator queen out of Tulsa, by way of Garland, Texas. Let me just do some rearranging. Now we got the season queen back. All right. So again, out of Tulsa, by way of Garland, this is the educator queen known as Meba TT. Talk to the people, queen.
Good evening. How is everyone?
Put that hand up again.
Good evening.
Yeah. What'd you say, John?
What's wrong with everybody, y'all?
They look. They act like, they act like something wrong with them, don't they?
No, I just walked in the house.
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is, John.
What is it?
She's sober.
That does make a difference, though.
That's what it is. She's sober.
I've been feeling a headache all day, so I'm trying to thug it out.
Okay.
I'm so
And the Nikki act different when she have a Kango on, so that's probably what it is with her.
No, I'm not. Actually, I feel really good today.
Do you?
I feel good all weekend long.
Is it because of that Kango or something else?
Something else.
Okay. We'll get into that in just a minute. But we go to the season queen, also known as Bodie Maroney, Skinny Minnie, Darling Nikki, the glamour herself, Coco. Talk to the people, queen.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today?
And last but not least, we got the comedian John Yoggi Lewis of Man Talk Mondays, straight out of South Oak Cliff. So if we have to stop down and explain a few things throughout the course of the show, just understand that is why. John, talk to the folks. What's been up, man?
Hey, man. Before I go to the further, I want to congratulate you guys on, I want to say 3 or 4 years, most versatile podcast.
Great, yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir.
Well deserved.
Thank you, sir.
I also heard that somebody got the funniest, but never mind. I'm not.
No. That's it is.
I want to see it through.
I
want to see it through, my boy.
Congratulations, guys. Much well deserved.
I might
get kicked off.
No, I want you to see it through, my boy.
Yeah,
you gotta grow up, John.
You gotta see it through.
Oh, what's the name got the funniest podcast I heard of? What is it? What is it? Love Happens? No, Life Happens.
Life happens.
I'm sure she's very happy about that. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all see her, y'all tell I wish her the very best. And
Yeah.
well deserved.
So
It is a very funny podcast. So
so I think I'm gonna have to. I may need to hire you out, man, to give me some more lessons because I thought I was pretty funny, but I guess I have an overinflated opinion of myself. So we gonna have to, I'm gonna have to. I'll call you and see how much you charge me per hour to give me some lessons, man. I know you're a professional. You get paid to do this. How many movies you got out now?
hey man, we just got through shooting the other day over in South.
I actually been watching them Tubi films, and I saw you in a couple of them.
Yeah.
Don't you be saying it? Are you serious? You should have called me and told me. I ain't seen it. Why you don't see it?
Why Tubi be cash apping you your money though? They don't send a check like regular people.
That's all they got.
Those
All
movies
right.
are so addicting, though.
Well, it's good to be with you guys, man. Real talk.
Hey, it's been too long, man. We can't go this long without having you
I
on
actually
again.
thought you was acting funny.
I did too.
Y'all
Yeah.
always think I'm acting funny, even when I'm not acting funny. So
Yeah, now I can actually attest to the fact that he is not being. We've talked a few times, had some fantastic conversations, actually, really. They were probably surprised, John. They were probably surprised some folks the conversations we had, wouldn't they?
It surprised me.
Yeah. It probably surprised some folks. Yeah, we have some good conversations. We don't just act the fool with each other, believe it or not. So let's get a couple of comments, Miss Producer, before we go into our new segment, Mental Health Minute. Let's go ahead and get a couple of comments so we can acknowledge some of those folks. Facebook user says, good evening, family. I'm not sure who that is, but there is a link there that you can click to give Facebook permission to publish your name. So please do that for you so we can give you the proper credit. We got Awita in the building. She goes, hey, my beautiful family. I can't wait to see what she got to say about this topic because this ought to be right up her alley. I need to see. Once mine, always mine. I need to see that. All right. Theodora, the blue streak freak, who corrected me last night and said it is now red. So you're gonna have to update your profile picture something so we can see why you said it's the red streak.
We're gonna call her the red light special now.
She goes, hey queens, hey king, dog, etc. All right. Hey, Wita says, Nikki, you wearing the hell out of that hat. Yeah, she is. That's a Kango. Don't call it a hat. It ain't a regular hat. It's a Kango. All right, we got a Marita in the building. She goes, hey, family, what's going on? And then Theodora says, blue streak. All right, cool. All right, and now it's time for our new segment, the Mental Health Minute.
And now it's time for the Mental Health Minute with the seasoned queen, Nicole Briscoe.
Okay.
That means it's sexy.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah, we ready.
Okay. Well, the first one that the only one I'm going to do for tonight is about the 2023 data that has come in from the Mental Health Association. And some of their findings is that now after the pandemic and all those things, that 21% of adults are expecting at least one mental or is experiencing one of them is experiencing mental illness. And that's roughly about 50 million people.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have data that 55% out of adults with mental illness have received any treatment at all. And then 5.44% of adults experience mental illness. Over 12.1 million adults, which is 4.8%, have reported serious thoughts of suicide. These figures will probably double when the next survey comes out. And the state of faring of poorest, including Kansas and Arizona and Oregon, which report a higher percentage of adults with mental illness and thoughts of suicides. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And as I was reading it earlier in the week, earlier last week, that's a lot of people that's experiencing mental health. And we need to check on our loved ones. I don't care if you feel like you don't have a time, but just take a minute to just call and check on somebody and make sure that they're good with their mental health, because sometimes they don't want to share it, but now it's more prevalent that there's more people that have mental health. We need to be checking on our friends, our families, making sure our kids are good, especially with the day and times that our kids are living in, and as well as the times that we're living in as well too. So I just wanted to just ask you guys, just take the time, and because this is getting bigger than it ever has been.
All right, we appreciate that. So basically, if you break that down and say 1 in 5 experience some sort of mental health issue, that means it's 5 of us on here right now. That's right, John. Count that out. So that means one of us on here.
It's Mika. Go ahead.
Probably has an issue. So, you got to be cognizant of that. And also, as far as I'm concerned, the way you're moving around on a daily basis, just going in and out of grocery stores, gas stations, picking up kids from school, going to church, all these other things, you got to be cognizant of that, because you never know how that mental health will affect somebody in their day-to-day operation. So just, again, keep your head on the swivel, check with your family members, and be aware. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's put this topic back up here just so folks who are just tuning in can see what it is. So once mine, always mine, with special guest John Yoggi Lewis, and we're gonna go ahead and go there first. I want to see if that's true. What's the first question we want to? No, matter of fact, let's just go initial thoughts. So John, when you saw this topic up here, once mine, always mine, what was your initial thought? Did you think back something that happened to you in the past? Did you have a prevailing thought? What happened?
Well, when we're younger, I hadn't always been short and stout. I was taller and had long hair, and I had long hair.
You had long hair?
It was long, and I was tall. And I want to say we do think once mine, always mine. Everybody is kind of selfish to the person that they mess with. Mm-hmm. Everybody's kind of selfish to. We don't want anybody bothering our crop of people that we have. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not that happens or not is completely different. But we want to make sure, we want to feel like that if we wanted to go back, we could go back.
Could. Okay.
Just don't want to. But if I wanted to, I could go back. What girl? Don't make me call you. Don't make me call, because I call.
Right.
I call.
Yeah, to prove it.
I'm just saying. It's just me.
Okay. All right. Lily, what are your initial thoughts when you heard the topic? I believe the producer and I were talking before the show, and I think this derived from a segment on the D.L. Hughley show, and I think it's his radio program, where they talked about this. So, Lily, what were your initial thoughts on this topic?
I think that kind of along the same lines as John described. Like when I was younger, you always that was your territory, right? Don't nobody mess with what I've already messed with. So yes, once mine, always mine. But I'm just glad that I have evolved. Okay,
so that sounds like that you don't necessarily fall into that category anymore. That once mine, always mine.
Not necessarily. Now, I it's layers to that for me. But I'll discuss that a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, because I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
TT, initial thoughts, ma'am.
I'm with Alicia. Yeah, I used to think that, but now I'm like, why would I want, if I got rid of you, if I'm done with you, why would I always want to be able to come back to you?
Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, we're not just talking about, when we say once mine, always mine, we're just not talking about somebody just out in general population can't have you. We're talking about people that are close to you, like friends.
Yeah.
So your thought process is still the same. That when I was younger, yeah, that was the case. But now that I'm older, friends are, it's open season. They can, if I dated somebody that wasn't no good for me, y'all can't, y'all are more than welcome. Is that the case?
Now wait a minute. That's a
Well, see, you can't see, you
that's a
can't. That was
different
shit. That
question.
is the question. We don't
No.
care. Everybody will let. Well, I'm not gonna say
That's
everybody,
why I said
but
it's layers.
That's
but very few people would give a damn about them going to dating somebody in the general population that you don't know. You can't stop that, no way. Generally, right? So this only works if we're talking about those that are closer to you.
Friends, family, etc.
Even let's just even say acquaintances. Like y'all not, because everybody can't be your BFFs, right? So let's just say if they were just acquaintances, or maybe y'all went to high school together, maybe y'all went to the same church, whatever. You may not necessarily be friends, but you close enough for it to be a factor.
Have your way. If it's an acquaintance, that means I'm not even really in your circle.
Okay, friends. What about a friend?
That's where it gets sticky.
That's where it gets a little different. And did I date him in high school or middle school?
Yeah.
When did I date him?
It don't matter. It says once mine, always mine. So that means
because you're gonna think differently of somebody you dated in high school and just playing around doing it.
Then you tell us where the line of demarcation is. John, I'll explain that in a minute. Go ahead.
John, you're not gonna laugh that hard. I think once you cross into adulthood, 25 and after, I'm just putting a number on it.
Okay.
25 and after, and we are friends. That means we hang out. I can come to your house. You can come to mine. You shouldn't. No.
So you 30 years old. You dating Bojangles.
Oh, Bojangles.
You and Bojangles see each other for about 18 months. Y'all do all the family events. Y'all you go double dates with some couples. Y'all do the stuff that people that's dating do. 30 years old. So by the time you 31 and a half, Bojangles' ass is gone.
Oh, Bo.
And one of your homegirls is like, I liked Bojangles. I thought he was a good man. I'm single. He's single. Y'all didn't have no kids together. Y'all wasn't never married. Y'all wasn't even engaged. I'm going to go start seeing Bojangles. You 30, now you 31 and a half. Maybe y'all 35 now. You and your best friend. So you dated Bojangles 3.5 years ago.
And we was having sex and all that.
Lily?
And we was having sex and all that.
Yeah, he was smashing, yeah.
Oh,
no.
Not sex. He was having sex too.
Coming off the top rope. John, what you say? Coming off the top rope.
If he was putting that booty in a blender, you gonna feel some kind of way.
Hello.
That's
so true.
Why y'all broke up? If he was cheating or he wasn't, if you could control it, because women try to control guys. If you could control it, and this Negro come behind you and think she can, you gonna have something to say. You gonna have your hand on your hip, working your neck and all that too.
Okay.
No, you ain't going for that.
Okay, Miss Producer, I'm telling you right now, I'm taking so many notes that I'm gonna throw some curveballs today. So just stay with me. So I would keep in mind we still on initial thoughts, but this is so juicy that we can't help it. So, Season Queen. Your initial thoughts when you first heard this topic, once mine, always mine, what'd you think?
Well, that's one thing I can agree with Meek and Alicia is on is when you're younger, stuff like that hurts you more than it does as you're old when you get older. So in that day and time, probably, I would have my feelings probably would have been hurt. But if it was today, no.
Okay. So if it's today, let's say, for instance, it's your BFF. Okay. She's single and she's dating somebody you used to date before Ken came in and swooped you off your feet. You okay with it?
Similar wouldn't do that.
That's not that. So my point is, let's say she did.
If she did, then that would be a problem.
Oh, but you just said when it was younger, it was a problem, but
Yeah,
now
not
you all
younger, but
better.
you
So
think
you're
about
not
right now.
younger.
Wait, I'm talking about you think about right now. It's loyalty. She should have some kind of respect and some type of loyalty to me, and not to date somebody that I was with. That's
So
how
it's
I look at
layers.
it.
Get her, John.
What does loyalty mean when it comes to Booty? Ain't no loyalty. Ain't I want it, he want it, we want it. Ain't no loyalty. You got somebody. You got some. My thing is this.
There you go. There you go, John. Go there.
Yeah,
that's right.
When you have somebody,
yeah,
you need go on with your life. I'm trying to get me and mine together.
Right.
Get me and mine together. Loyalty is out the window. You only have to be loyal to that man that you married to. Let me over here and let me do this. You should listen. I understand. Bless your heart, baby. Bless your heart. I get it. I know you're gonna feel some kind of way, but boy, come on in here. Let me do what she couldn't. See, pride sometimes. It's about pride. It ain't about nothing else. It don't have no Lord. It's about pride. You wanted to think that you was the only one that could get that, and you found out that you wasn't, and your feelings hurt.
Now you see. Now you see. Now you see why I got John Yoggi Lewis for this topic.
It doesn't. It's okay. But at the same time, I don't care about the fact that they're dating. I just would think that it was just not a good idea to base.
Okay, so fine. You said it's about loyalty. What about you being loyal to her and her happiness and her future and her? What if that's what's gonna make it right?
Them niggeros that I was with wouldn't make her happy.
But maybe they're not good for you. Maybe they're not a good fit for you, but they was perfect for her.
But you can't tell me if we're talking about
because
if we're talking about your best friend,
and
the guy that you were smashing for 18 months,
okay, they were in love,
and y'all and we know that once we start smashing, them emotions get attached, right? So it didn't work out for us, right? We went our separate ways. He went his way, I went my way.
Yeah.
And then my best friend comes and be like, well, I think we can work something out, me and him. Y'all been looking at each other the whole time. That's what's going through my head.
See, that's the problem. Okay.
And we have been looking at each other the whole time. We've been saying the whole time, as soon as she moved, I'm smashing her friend because she been looking over here the whole time.
Because y'all nasty.
I love it. Okay, so Miss Producer, let's get some of these comments out of the way, and then we gonna circle back. And there's some things that were said in the initial thoughts that I gotta circle back and follow up on. So let's get a couple of comments. All right, so we got Keisha Walker in the business. She goes, "Good evening, family. Can y'all see my name now?" Yeah, I just said Keisha Walker. Next. Being Sutter the third, the gentleman who put the BS in BS3 says good evening. Eric ain't got nothing to worry about. When she through with you, you just gonna be out there doing podcasts. Ain't nobody gonna come down you.
You ain't ish.
We just said I never wanted any of my exes back and felt sorry for their next victim. Dang. But if you're one of your closest friends, though, answer the question. Okay, wait a minute. She put it up there. So let's go ahead and jump to her next comment where she says, if one of my friends date one of my exes. If one of my friends date one of my exes, I would tell her that I don't want her to discuss their business or problems with me. That's rational. That sounds like a rational thought to me. So if she's saying I wouldn't have a problem with it, I would just simply tell her, don't discuss their problems with me.
Not have any issue with it.
I would.
So when they come to your house for movie night and they start kissing in the mouth.
But I'm like John. If you got your man, why are you worried about it?
It's not that you're worried about it. It's just like, girl.
Okay, let me flip. Let's get a couple of comments. We're gonna flip the script. John, write notes down so you know where to go. Don't forget where you need to go now, because there's a bunch of places. All right, we got Ain't Eve in the building. She goes, hey, family. You know what we need to do? We need to have a tea contest between Ain't Eva and Ain't Marita. Because they got the best tea on this side of the family, and she got the best tea on that side of the family. So we need to bring y'all together and see who got the best tea. All right, Gary Freeman said 175 million women in the U.S., and you couldn't find one that I didn't have.
See,
it don't matter. Maybe the one you had was the good one, the one that fits me best. John writing a whole bunch of stuff.
John about to cuss us out.
Facebook user says, "Oh my, give Facebook permission to use publish the name so we can see who you are." All right, is there a grace period? That's a good question. So, according to the panel thus far, they said the grace period was. Oh, okay, no, that's a good question. We'll talk about that later. Is there a grace period? In other words, from the time we stop seeing each other to the time y'all start seeing each other? And Facebook user says y'all can't come to my house, period.
At all.
That's the
Oh my God. Okay, John, go ahead. You got something hot that you need to get out.
I'm simply trying. Listen, first of all, it don't matter about a grace period because women want what they can't have anyway. Y'all are never satisfied, and y'all show listen. You done brag to that girl about how good it was, girl. When he turned me loose, girl, like a bird, this stand up, girl. And now she got it. And now she got him. You've been setting him up the whole time with her, and now she got him, and you can't stand it because you thinking, Lord, I don't served up to him. I done told her about all the things that he do, and more importantly, I told her that he ain't the dude for me, but if you did this, he'd be perfect. And she did it, and she's doing it. And you
that's right, man.
You can't stand it. And so she said, it's for real. And then the other person said, well, I wouldn't want, don't tell me about your problem. The reason why you say don't tell me about your problem, because you have told her all your business about him, and you don't want her to circle back and say none to you about how good he is to you.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear it. Girl, I know you can't feel your leg on the side. No, none of that, girl. All that's gone. You don't want to hear none of that.
So John, you wouldn't care if your whole squad flipped the girl that you used to mess with. So
see, you know what?
For 6 months he messing with her. For another year he messing with her.
One thing I learned at a young age: you can curry if you want to. That's not gonna stop them from belonging to the streets. Most of the time, we give our hearts to people that don't deserve it.
That's true too.
And when you do, and the streets get them, all you can do is look and say, "Ooh, that was a good man before the streets got him." Because now the streets got him. That was a good woman.
Yeah.
When you young, you find out who belong to you and who belong to the streets. Most people belong to the streets.
Hey, done been there, homeboy. Okay, so let me ask this question. This is where I want to come. Lily. Brandon come to you in a tizzy one day. He not feeling right. What's wrong? Such and such dating one of his boys. How you gonna feel about the nigga being upset because one of his boys is dating one of his exes? Nigga, why do you care?
That's what she gonna say.
See, that's a whole different perspective now, ain't it? Nigga, why do you care?
I am, but my thing is, I don't think I would. I think it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't want to be if I've broken up with this person, I don't want to be around them. You know what I mean? I don't want them in my space. And if I'm with my best friend and she bringing her boo, I don't. Even though we don't care for each other, we can still not.
So you telling me you ain't never had no amiable breakup? All your breakups is y'all throwing shit at each other?
No, I have, but my thing is, I don't want him a part of my circle. Do that.
Okay, see, maybe I'm different because there's some people I've broken up with to where I would literally go to her wedding because I think so highly of her.
Well, I'm talking about people I dated in my early 20s, and
my point is that every breakup isn't a bad breakup. Sometimes y'all just realize, hey, we're not a good fit. Matter of fact, I got news for you. Let me go ahead and drop this bomb on you. I was married for almost 20 years. And guess what? I left the church I was at, and my thought process was there's a lot of good brothers there. She may meet somebody there. I want to make sure and they have room to be able to do it. I wouldn't have had an issue at all.
Absolutely. Go and do that over there. But are they in your immediate circle?
So a lot of them were.
Immediate.
Because we were close. Yeah, you got to remember what we were doing. We was in that area. We were in that arena for 20 hours a week. So yeah, we was close. We spent a lot of time with their brother. Gary Freeman is one of them. You know, now he married and all that other stuff. But my point was, I left because I'm like, hey, there's a lot of good brothers. I cared enough about you. I may not have been in love with you anymore, but I still love you and care enough about you to where I want you to go get a good brother. And if that means that brother happens to be a friend of mine, I ain't tripping.
Dudes are built different anyway. Like,
yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Y'all share.
So stop telling us y'all can do what we do because y'all
but y'all don't mind having community.
That's what
see,
I'm
we're
saying.
not talking. You see, Lily, you talking about you trying to say it's just hit and run. We're not talking. I'm talking about let's for the sake of this argument, we're saying they're going to be in a relationship. They're trying a relationship. We're not just talking about smashing. Because let's just be honest. Let's just be honest with each other. It's a whole lot of your homegirls and homeboys that done smash your exes that you just don't know shit about. So let's just be honest. We talking about being in a relationship that they're gonna let everybody know about.
They know not to tell me though.
But
I don't
why?
understand. Why they gotta take a whooping?
But my thing is this: you know, if you have done it behind my back, you feel like it's wrong.
Yeah.
You feel guilty. You feel some type of way about it. You know that I would feel some type of way about it.
You know,
just because you don't,
Alicia,
especially if it was a relationship that
you
I
are
was
married,
in for years.
You are married, Alicia, with a boatload of kids.
And got a darn good man. What mama be saying about y'all? Got a darn good man.
That's not saying that I'm worried about the guy. Like, I think that's the thing. I'm not worried about the guy. It's the principle of it.
But why is that? But see, here's the deal. Why is that a principle, though? Just because it's a principle doesn't mean that it has to be one.
For me.
Yeah.
That is a principle for me.
Because
like it's one of the things I don't want you breaking bread with me on Thanksgiving. Like I don't know. We're good.
Women want to control the narrative to something they can't be controlled. Relationships can't be controlled.
Yeah.
I listen, I agree. It ain't right. But you know how much stuff that ain't right that we do all the time that ain't right that we do anyway.
But here's the deal. See, this is my problem with it, John. I'm trying to break it down so far to find out why is it not right. Who said it ain't right?
Because
we have to examine some of that stuff. It could be. Why is it wrong?
Because they're gonna feel a way about it. That's right.
That's not that doesn't tell me why it's wrong. Nobody can tell me why it's wrong.
Because it's not wrong. Because it's
Mika, it's 2025. You married to Charles. Bojangles and one of your homegirls getting together. Now, matter of fact, we're gonna one of Charles' exes and one of his homeboys getting together. Charles acting funny at home that day. You done made the best spaghetti that you can make, and Charles ain't got no appetite today. You know Charles always eat your spaghetti. Get 2 or 3 helpings. You even made him the good 5 cheese garlic bread, and Charles ain't eating because Charles upset one of his homeboys is dating one of his exes. How you feel about Charles? You cool with Charles being mad about that?
It's not that I'm cool with it. But I understand.
That's a lie.
I'm curious.
I'm not cool at all.
I'm curious. Alicia and Nicole are married. Y'all not married. You spending time with one of your ex's friends. You're not trying to fall in love. You ain't looking to fall in love.
There you go.
Find each other, and you start having feelings for him, even though you think, I know this ain't right, but my heart is telling me that this might be the dude for me. You mean to tell me you gonna say, you know what? It just ain't right. I'm gonna forsake my happiness. I'm gonna
Thank you,
forsake
man.
my happiness.
Thank you,
No,
man.
it just ain't right. Or am I gonna say, baby, I can't explain it, but me and him, we finna start dating. What you gonna do? Because I think it's easy for us to say, no, I'm not gonna do it if we're not in that situation. Man, people start dating like that all the time. They're never meant to start dating. I think we have a reason with it because we think it's on purpose, and a lot of times it's not on purpose.
I was about to say, John, but that's not on purpose. But why you and the homie hanging out?
We was all in a circle. We ran into each other at a brunch. It was a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of reasons.
But I'm me coming.
See, look at her, John. She's looking at a side eye. She can't. There's nothing in her that letter says it just happened in an innocent way.
But the thing is with me, I'm not even going to entertain that if I knew that was one of his homeboys.
Yeah, what we doing?
Like that's just me. Other females may feel away, but I'm not going to entertain that.
But that's how most women are. They don't entertain it. But then there are some that do. And so maybe we just not the ones that's going to entertain it.
Well, I think it's different because y'all not in the situation.
Yeah.
But if I knowingly know that this is his homeboy, I'm not even going to entertain that conversation. I'm not.
Okay, Nikki, you done made some other pork chop. Kenny come home. He done had a long move. You know, normally I'm hungry. He hungry after that. So I'm gonna get the thick pork chops today. He come home. And now Cupcake ain't hungry. What, baby? Hey. I got your country pork chops. I done smothered them like you used to back at home. You no, I ain't with it. What's wrong? Sheila dating Michael. Okay. And what's wrong? You gonna be okay with this? It's changing his whole mood. He upset because one of his partners dating one of his exes, and he done been married to you for 20 years. Come on, you got what? Why?
Put y'all going in trash. Put y'all going in trash right there.
Yeah, right. You're not gonna be cool with the fact that he upset about that.
And he gonna sleep on the couch.
So why would you be upset about it?
Because he came home and he was upset about it.
Let's get some of these comments. Let's see if some of the audience members have put some thoughts out there. Let's see. Facebook user says, think about it. When you hire movers, when moving out from a roommate situation, you tag everything that's yours and let them know everything that's tagged is mine. That applies to anyone that I've dated. Everything that I've tagged is mine and is off limits to my friend. Girl code, BS code. I'm just going to say girl code, BS code.
I'm with you, Facebook user.
BS code.
I appreciate you, Facebook user.
Yeah. See, have y'all ever been on a job that y'all started new? And y'all come in and y'all are trying to learn the systems and learn processes and procedures, and you ask a question, say, "Oh, well, why do y'all have to do XYZ to be able to go ABC?" And they say, "Oh, well, that's because that's the way we've always done it." Could never be the worst thing you'd say to a situation. Give me the reason, the good business reason why that's the So same thing with this. It sounds like the reason why we are saying it's off limits is because that's the way it's always been, because it hurt my feelings. Take your feelings out of it. Next comment. You're right. I don't want to hear that. Right. They saying you're right. I don't want to hear that. No, come home. You upset because one of your exes is dating your best friend. See, nobody wouldn't want their significant other to do it, but they would do it. John.
Well, I just feel like oftentimes we care about stuff that we don't supposed to. We don't detach from things that we supposed to detach from, and that's old relationships. That's anything old anyway. Because once we get into new stuff, we're supposed to be away from that old stuff. But easier said than done.
Yeah. Have you either of y'all? We're gonna get back to the comments real quick, so don't go away from this one.
How can I detach myself away from old stuff if it's attached to my best friend that is still currently my best friend?
It's attached to your best friend, not to you. But go ahead, John.
Well, that's not what bothers
it's my circle.
Well, that's not what bothers. It's not that's bothering. It's the sex. Listen. anytime you see somebody that you've been with, the first thing you think about is how the sex was. The first thing, it's not the last, it's not the second. The first thing you think about is how the sex was. You can be, how old am I? I am 54. I have had people that I hadn't been with in 30 years. And when I see them, the first thing we laugh, a woman will start laughing. I'll be like, ooh, that was a long time ago. Because that's the first thing that we think about. So tell me how that's not the first thing you're thinking about when you see your friend. You don't care about your friend. All you think about is she getting, oh girl, you getting that now. You don't care about that. All you care about is she
Ooh, let's get to some of these comments. Producers say they piling up. Let's run through them. All right, it's hard for me to answer that question since I never wanted any of my exes back. Someone who wanted an ex back can answer it better. See, that's the thing. You're done with them, supposedly. They weren't good for you. Why does it matter? Go ahead, next comment. Gary says, it ain't about the female, it's about the friend and where his loyalty lies. I ain't with that. Next comment.
Go, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Alicia, don't answer that question because Brandon's not crazy to come with you with that BS. All right, next comment. Facebook user says, true. Facebook user, I agree. I don't want my ex around. It's borderline toxic. Even people I've broken up with that I don't have issues with, I don't want them around because we have feelings for each other at some point. I want to move on and not even think about that. Next comment. I'm not going to put myself in a position to deal with nobody's ex I know. No. Okay, next. No, player, absolutely not.
See?
I agree. I'm not. Go ahead. Okay, he'll eat them tomorrow because I ain't looking. I don't know if they meant cooking or looking at. Talk about the pork chop, probably. Then they ain't really a best friend. Well, again, we didn't just say it had to be just your best friends. It's just a friend. It don't necessarily be that's your ace cool boom. This is maybe the best comment of the night. John, only if the sex was good. God, dog. God, dog. Facebook user just says cooking. Go ahead. Do any of you have an ex that you can call up to this day and they will respond? Yes, most of them.
Oh yeah.
The majority of them.
Wait, stop. Wait. Y'all ain't supposed to be shaking y'all heads up there.
Well, no, that's a question. That's a fair question. That's a fair question. Do you have an ex that you can call up and they will respond? That's a fair question. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Some on Facebook, they'll comment on
Facebook
me and my
is
kids.
The worst thing that ever happened to relationships. Facebook is what you need to be seeing somebody used to be intimate with for anyway. That is the worst thing to happen to.
I mean, if my best friend gonna be doing them, I might as well, right?
Wow.
At least I don't like your attitude.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't want nobody I know eating my leftovers. That's that's Selena. Okay.
Oh. I had to put that together.
It looks like we got to the bottom of them. Okay. So John, you got anything you wanted to go to on this?
Well, I just think, man, oftentimes let me ask this question. Have we found ourselves doing something that we never thought we would do?
Absolutely.
At any time in our lives, have you thought and said, man, I just didn't never think I would do this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think this is the same way. I don't think people often get into this kind of stuff trying to. Now, some people do, but most of the time I just don't think people try to, and they wind up in a place that they never thought they would.
Agreed. Anybody got any follow-up to that one? Because I think that's a very valid point. Okay, Mika, as hard as it is, you single, I'm single. As we know, a lot of people say this dating pool got piss in it. I think it got piss, vinegar, dookie, vomit. It got all kind of shit in it. Splooge, splurge, fupa. It's got all kind of shit in it. Every now and then you find a chocolate chip cookie though. But anyway, the date as hard as it is, you just so happen to hit it off with somebody who used to date one of your friends. Dating as hard as it, finding somebody as hard as it is, you find somebody that dated one of your friends that used to date Selena before her and Derek got together. You ain't
Absolutely
even
not.
considering it?
No.
And Selena, you wouldn't want her to consider it?
I
Her happiness doesn't mean anything to come on.
let me add this caveat to that.
Yeah.
The right time and chance. A lot of times we got to be caught the right way. We got to be caught in the right situation. We got to be caught in the right mood.
Right
and
on.
If you caught that way, then at that point, I think you'll begin to compromise some of the things we stand so hard on.
So me and Selena talk about everything. You think I'm just gonna talk to her about a dude she used to date and say, "Girl, can you help me with this?"
I don't think.
I'm trying to figure out.
There's no way.
Again,
That's
I'm not gonna block none of my partners. My partners. I'm not. If they think they want a chance at that, by all means, have at it. Let's see, Miss Producer, if you got a question that you needed for us to ask, you can put it up now, unless we've already asked it. And if we've already asked it, I got some other places to go. Let's see if she has somewhere for us to go. Let's give her a quick second. Okay, there we go. So I think they done already answered this shit, but let's start with the season queen, because she seemed to be a little calmer about this topic. Nico, Timala did do it. She dated Michael. She dated Michael Finley.
What?
She dated Michael Finley now.
Hell no.
Y'all can't stay friends?
Hell no.
Why not?
But you happy.
Yeah, why not?
No.
Just based on that alone, because it's some sort of betrayal. Okay?
Betrayal.
Let's just stop right there. I'm going to come back to that word. Mika, I know the answer to this, but I'm just, for the sake of argument, I want to go ahead and ask the question. Could you remain friends with the person?
I wish her well, though.
Okay, Lily, could you remain friends with the person?
No.
I could. John, could you remain friends with the person?
Yeah, I could.
Okay, so now let's circle back. Why, Nikki? Why can't you be friends? Timala is good people. Michael Finley, good people.
I know.
What is it hurting you? You got a good man.
But let me
with
say
kids and grandkids. Why does it matter?
She got a good man right now too.
But
come on, let's for the sake of argument.
But I think they're acting like, or they're dealing with this like they took them from them when they were dating, where they were
right,
and that's not the fact. That's not what happened.
And it could be years later, Timala was in town visiting. She wanted to go to a Maverick game. Michael Finley is the president, vice president or something out there. They ran into each other. They hit it off. Why? She didn't take Mike from you. You didn't want him no way.
So?
Mika. What's the betrayal? What if she came? I mean, because maybe I'm assuming something that y'all know that I didn't specifically state. So let me specifically state it. Let's say they came to you and talked to you about it and said, "Hey, look, I know you used to date Bojangles, but the way that nigga fried chicken, I want to give it a shot. But we just wanted to make sure you knew." We're not trying to be disrespectful. We weren't attempting it. We know y'all dated 4 years ago. I ran into him at Vuku Ray. John, nobody know what Vuku Ray is. I ran into him at Vuku Ray at the bar. We hit it off. Wasn't intending to. Out of respect to you, letting you know that's the deal. What's the problem?
Now, as a grown woman, I can't stop her anyway. She's gonna if she's gonna date him, she's gonna date him.
That goes without saying. But y'all gonna be friends?
Our friendship's not gonna be the same.
That means no, they ain't gonna be friends.
You know why your friendship ain't gonna be the same? Because he's gonna be coming off the top rope on her. And he ain't gonna be That's why it ain't gonna be the same. She ain't gonna have time for you no more. That's why it ain't gonna be the same. Don't get over here telling me it ain't gonna be the same. You show right. She gonna be walking different because it ain't gonna be the
same. Lily, same question.
Oh my gosh.
You dated somebody 5 years ago. However long it's been, 20 years ago. You're one of your homegirls say, "Hey, I ran into Scott. I ran into Scott a couple of years ago at the Addison Improv. He was on another date. I was on another date. We actually got sat at the same table. We struck up a conversation, exchanged business cards. That talked to him again for about 6 months later because I needed something. We started talking. Things are going. Bless you, man. Things are going. I like him. He liked me. We want to kind of get, but we know y'all used to date. Bless you. Hold your hands up in the air. Is that for coffee?
That's for
We just wanted to come to you out of respect because we both think highly of you. You know, me and you girls. You know, I know that's not supposed to go down, but I think I got a shot. You know what I done been through in relationships. I know it didn't work out with y'all. Just do you mind?
Look how she looking, man. She is.
Hey, I'm not even. This ain't even real, and I'm feeling like the girl, nervous in the motherfucker. And I don't even want to tell the scenario. I'm so scared.
She is not going for it. She is
You
not.
said
going
20 years ago. I wouldn't care 20 years ago. I was in high school.
Well, that's okay. 15 years ago, you was dating.
Wouldn't care. There was
It was the last dude you dated before you and Brandon got together. But you and her cool. Like this your girl. She in your circle.
I don't want to be around him.
So her answer is no.
I don't want to be around him. And she's attached to him. So it wouldn't, I'm kind of like Mika, it just wouldn't be the same because I don't feel like I can kick it with her like that and he's around. I just don't want to be around him.
Why not? Why not? I don't get it. Why not?
That ex is because that's not where we are anymore. Like, I don't want to be in his space. I don't want him to be in my space. When I'm around my friends and
what if his life done changed in the last 12 years? He a pastor now. He a pastor now.
Great over there.
He'd be great for your best friend or your friend.
And just because when we broke up, we didn't break up in any, it was not a malicious way.
Glasses.
That meant we was to hang out.
I just choose, like, once I'm done with somebody, I don't want to be in their space. Like, that's not what I want to go over my best friend's house to kick it and he there. Like, that's awkward. I don't want to do that.
And I don't know what I'm gonna do if they kissing in front of me. Like,
see.
See, and honestly, that piece I'm not even worried about. It's just that.
Yeah.
You were kissing in the mouth.
Right in the mouth.
But my whole thing, John, though, is that you got somebody. You need to be worried about your somebody you got. Don't be worried about that other stuff.
But the thing is, how is it that I'm not worried about my current situation if I don't want to be attached to my prior situation? Like, you can be focused in and completely happy, but I still don't want that person in my space.
I just think as you get older and wiser, you'll understand what's important and what's not. And that'll be
the lower. In my answer, I'll let John answer first. My answer was going to be because it's such a lower priority. That's how I'm putting it.
You can care less about.
Maybe I haven't grown there yet.
Yeah.
Women are different.
Hey, because
I don't know.
When you see him with her and your legs start shaking,
please.
I'm gonna be like this.
All right, let's get some comments. Wow.
It's a little
now, this is my thing. They probably had to look up syphilis. Is syphilis even around anymore? Go ahead.
I'll break it.
Is it?
Yeah.
In the old folks' home. I know it's been in the old folks' home for a long time. Y'all ain't heard that? That ain't no joke. That's for real. Yeah. They said STDs are in terms of the entire population, it is at a higher percentage in old folks' homes than it is anywhere else.
Mama, you bet not.
Facebook, you said I want her to be I want her to be happy and kiss her man in the mouth, just not one of my exes. Okay.
Thank you.
That's somebody that's probably married.
Yeah, random people you used to date, that's understandable. But what about that one?
I think that's Selena, isn't it?
But see, here's the deal. Random people used to date, that's understandable. But my point is that he couldn't have been that one if that's your ex.
No, like that one.
You know, you'd be like,
well, let me say this.
Huh?
We don't often end up with that one.
And hello.
Right.
That one is
Right.
going to get
That's
another topic.
Wait a minute, John. This is dangerous that you're saying this.
If for being with them, thus I know I'm married, but don't make me stab you about him or them.
All right.
I like that last comment. Whoever that was.
Oh yeah, Claire told me he was engaged.
Okay, so she says Pastor Tony Evans is engaged to one of him and his wife's friend. His ex-wife friend, I guess is what she's saying.
No, his wife passed away.
His wife passed away.
Oh, that's different.
And that's
right.
Totally different.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah. John, what if it was Sunday? I see there must be something I don't know about. This is inside.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That little friend you be talking
about.
Oh, son.
Do you really know her, don't you?
Wow. Yeah. See, Sonya was somebody that I just was glad back in the day that I was with, that she was so, and I felt like I wasn't on her level. So when
she was so what? Don't say so and skip it. She was so what? Fine?
She was fine. And when I got her, I was so glad to have her that I kind of let her, because
so if John, if I walk in with Sonya, you gonna be cool with that?
Well, let me say this. Sonya almost 3 now. So you go ahead and walk in with her.
Oh, almost 3.
Yeah, 300 by 300 pounds.
Oh no, we good. Cause John, you catch me with a big woman, I'm holding her for the police.
I can't stand y'all.
Not the police.
Okay. Facebook user said, Mika, fix your wig before you get on camera. Next. Okay. Gary says, Doc, I can respect how you broke it down with the professional notice, but niggas just show up at the picnic with the chick and catch everybody off guard.
Yeah.
You cannot
That's
do
the
that.
truth.
You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all the comments. So let me ask this one caveat and then we'll get final thoughts. And I'm going to start with you, Nikki. What if they did do just that? They showed up at the picnic. It was unknowingly. They didn't know that y'all were dating, right? Like let's just say, for instance, y'all consider this scenario. Your homegirl, your homeboy. I don't even think me and John got to answer it no more because we done already said we cool. But let's say your homegirl has been talking to you about this dude she dating. It's a name like Brian, so you could have been anybody, right? I met this guy named Brian. Yeah, sure. You used to date a guy named Brian back 10 years ago, but it's not really registering. I met this guy. He's great. We're really hitting it off. Every question he has the right answer to. He's got a great job. His credit score is good. Where he's going in life. He like to travel like I like to travel. Everything's great with him. They seeing each other for 6 months, but you ain't never got a chance to meet. Oh, I can't wait to meet this Brian guy, but you ain't met him yet. But y'all have a get together. You invite him. Hey, why don't you and Brian come out to this thing? Walk in, and it's your Brian, Nikki. You didn't know about it, but now they invested some time. What you gonna do?
They're still gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go.
They invested. They didn't even know you need. Matter of fact, you and your good friend didn't even know each other back when y'all used to date. You walk in, you still got a problem with that one?
They're gonna have to go.
Who gonna have to go? Brian or both of them?
Both of them. They're gonna have to go.
Okay. Mika. Same scenario. Y'all didn't even know each other. Huh?
I promise you, me and my friend dated this guy at the same time and did not know it. We are still super duper close today.
Yeah, but the dude ain't. But ain't nobody with the dude. What if one of y'all was with the dude right now? Would
It
you
didn't
still be
matter.
super duper close?
Was both
It
of
didn't
y'all
matter.
smashing? Was y'all smashing him?
Who?
Was
Yeah.
y'all smashing him?
I'm a virgin, John.
Girl, bye. No, I'm sorry. Yes, you are, me.
John, John, her anus is on here right now. She can't say the truth. Her anus is watching this. She
I'm
can't tell
so
the truth.
sorry about. Yes, you are, me, because you got the little halo and everything.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
No, but in that situation,
So let's say, for instance, so
I
Mika,
tell
that's
you
good.
what,
That's good, Mika. So
in that
y'all found out
situation-
y'all dating the same people, didn't know it. Let's say, as a result, I'm gonna bow out then. I don't know.
Exactly.
Y'all can go. Would you be still cool with her and him and everything?
Yes, because you did not know. You didn't know.
Okay, so the scenario I gave Nikki, they had been seeing each other 6 months. She'd been talking to you about the guy, but she didn't know y'all used to date. But y'all walk in and it comes to find out, God, dog, that's the Brian I used to date. You ain't gonna have no problem with either one of them?
No, y'all, because we didn't know.
Okay, so knowing is a caveat for you. Okay,
Yes.
that's the line of demarcation for you. Lily, what about you? That scenario.
The line of who?
The demarcation.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, Google it. Lily?
If we didn't know and they just showed up and we had been talking about this random guy, I'm not gonna feel away because we really just didn't know.
But okay, so same scenario though. But you know the guy, so y'all gonna show up. You said you didn't want to be around him. You said you didn't want to see him. You didn't. Mika don't want to see him kiss him. So just because you didn't know, he's still one of your exes that's dating one of your friends.
In that moment, me and her just gotta have a conversation. Like, hey, that could have been like a really bad ex of mine. You know what I mean? That could have. It just really depends. That could be like a toxic situation. I'm like,
let's pretend it wasn't. For the sake of this argument, let's pretend it wasn't. Everything was fine. You got nothing bad to say about the guy. You even think to yourself, hey, that wasn't a bad guy. You know, we just weren't a good fit. They show up at the cookout. They've been dating for 6 months. Y'all didn't even know each other when they were when you and him was dating. You and that friend didn't know each other. They dating each other now.
At least it look like she's not having it.
You still got to see him.
She like she's not having it, man.
I don't know.
So
I don't know how.
I think you know. I think you know, and I think you still are like, I'm not with it.
But you're saying I didn't even know her at the time that we
dated.
dated.
That's the time y'all dated. That's right.
I don't think I would feel away because I don't know. I don't think it was done intentionally or there are other motives behind it.
So seeing him in this scenario for future events. So would you stop inviting her to future events because now that she knows she's with your ex?
It just
would you stop?
It just depends on where me and the ex was. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
All right, John.
It just depends on whether or not he was that guy or not.
No, it doesn't.
Oftentimes we give our hearts and our behinds to that guy, and we don't stay with him. And some happens to where we don't stay with him, and when we don't stay with him, and when we re-see him with anybody, it turns at us because that's supposed to be the guy that I'm with.
Mm.
Regardless of whether we married again, the kids, all of it doesn't matter because we'll always think about that particular person as that person that I felt like in my heart that I was supposed to be with. And it makes it tough every time. So it's tough for me to see him with anybody, let alone somebody that I know.
If y'all are watching this show right now and you got a significant other, pose this question to them and get back with us and let us know what happened. If y'all slept in separate rooms tonight because of this topic, please let us know because I can promise you the way y'all see this is probably going to be vastly different. Final thoughts. Let's start with the season queen. Final thoughts. Once mine, always mine.
First of all, I'm not reneging on anything I see.
Hey, who you calling a renege?
I am not. To each its own. Everybody has their own way, and I'm not gonna say that it's wrong or it's right, but I just know what Nicole would not do.
Okay.
And and also I just wanted to thank our listeners. Thanks, John, for being here. We haven't seen you in a while. It was good seeing you, good laughing with you. And I hope it's not another year before you get on here.
All right. Mika, final thoughts.
Shout out to our viewers and our listeners. We appreciate y'all. John, take another year or two.
Wow.
No, you know I enjoy seeing you. And Winshare gonna make me some food, but we'll talk offline.
Yeah.
And to the topic,
Ooh, Gary.
their own. I don't know what what different people would do in different situations. Like, it's layers to this topic. So if you feel like you didn't get a straight answer, you didn't.
Yeah, because we never got to the layer that's it's okay, did we, John? It's a whole bunch of layers, and all them layers said no. I've never got a yes layer.
Nope.
All right. Did you thank John for being out here or no?
I told him to take a year off.
Okay. All right, Lily, final thoughts, ma'am.
Thank you to the viewers. Thank you, John, for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
it's always a pleasure having you.
He laughed at that.
And I said that sarcastically because it's hard for me to say that to you. You know how I feel about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's with love.
Yeah.
But as far as the topic is concerned, if you are in my circle and you want to go date somebody,
she putting y'all on notice. Y'all better be listening.
Just to make sure.
I will beat you.
Just to make sure that you don't bring them around me.
Yeah, wow.
Fight. But don't bring them around me.
Don't do you, but don't bring them around me. You are her.
Just make sure when she nuck, you buck.
Yeah.
Yoggi, final thoughts, sir.
Man, I just want to say I want to thank you guys for having me, man. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have enjoyed as much as I have. And with that being said, no one wants to be reminded of their failures. Oftentimes when we're in relationships, we're looking for love, man. And when we don't find it, depending on how things ended, man, it's tough. It's really tough. And the last thing we want to do is when we see somebody else that look like they've cracked the code on this particular person, the last thing we want to do is be reminded of what we couldn't do or what we didn't do at that particular time. So I get it. I understand why it's tough. I understand why we have created a code to where people can't do that because, again, we don't want to be reminded of our failures.
Ooh, and what your producer teach you to say after that?
Oh, and that's my final thought.
See, our producer ain't mean like that. She just let you quit talking. See, I'm gonna tell you like this. It is statements like that. It is thought processes like that. It is perspectives like that I knew John would be fantastic for this topic, and damn near any topic we talk, he gonna bring some value added, to say the least. But yeah, it's been far too long, man. I just don't be wanting to bother folks, all the time, because I know you're busy and you got your own show on Monday to do. Matter of fact, tell folks where they can get a hold of you. Tell them about Man Talk Mondays. Tell them about your personal stuff. If you got anything coming up, social media, whatever.
Man Talk Mondays, Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. We're also on YouTube. We're on YouTube, Man Talk Mondays. Also, we're doing some stuff on TikTok. Follow us, like us, and follow us on TikTok as well. Right now, I'm in a transition period. I'm trying to figure out what exactly the future holds. I'm not sure which direction I kind of want to go. So I'm just put something on hold till I get that kind of figured out. But
Tubi, not that them cash apps Tubi sending ain't doing what they're supposed to do.
They really do it.
But we really do need to get a potluck together over here, though, where we can do a bunch of cooking and eating and stuff like that. Soon, game night, some dominoes, some Uno, some, whatever. So talk to the wife and see if we can't put something like that together. My final thoughts are just this, and it stems back to that comment I made earlier when I said And I gave the scenario about being on a job new and you ask, why do we do something? And they say, because that's the way we've always done it. I'm somebody who wants to challenge conventional thinking. And just because we have a thought, and it could be the predominant, as we saw in this, in all fairness to the queens, most of the viewing audience believed the way they believe. It was very few folks who, and that's not just women, even Gary was in that thought process, right? So in all fairness to them, the majority of society probably sees it the same way. I'm just someone who wants to challenge conventional wisdom and examine, why do we feel this way and should we? With that, I think we could do a part 2 on this. I think we could bring in some other personalities to discuss it. I'd love to hear what Derek had to say about this. I'd love to hear what AJ had to say about this. I'd love to let Gary start talking and see what he had about this, because he put a good comment up here and he goes, you ain't always mine, but you can't be his. And I think that is the perfect comment to end this. You ain't always mine, you just can't be his. We appreciate you for tuning in to this episode of Queen3 and King. Join us next week. We do not have a topic yet, but we'll be back the same place, same time, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, we appreciate it. We could not do it without your support. We will see you next week. Y'all say bye and play the outro.
Bro, bring the hook in. Queen3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down, it's going down. We just hit you with another one. It's going down, we just hit you with another one. It's going down, we just hit you with another one. Tune in now, we just hit you with another one. It's Queen3 and King. It's Queen3 and King. It's Queen3 and King. It's Queen3 and King.